How's it going, Poppy?
I thought we were gonna go in order, but all right.
No.
What's up? What's up?
I thought you too. I was like, I'm gonna take
Winners go first, sir. Winners go first. No, I'm kidding. Poppy, how's it going, bud?
Todo bien, papi. Todo bien.
There you go.
It's your show, bro. You do whatever you want.
Yeah, and then we got, so this being an AFC South Showdown, we don't have Jaguars fans on because we can't find them right now. So we got the one and only Sam. How's it going, Sam?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
There you go, Mr. First Down from Fanboys Unleashed. Check it out on Sundays. Is that correct, Sam?
Yep, Sundays after the game, about 8 p.m.
Exactly. If you want to listen to Titan Talk, go and watch Fanboy Unleashed.
We know you don't, but okay.
We cried live on air.
Yeah, man, that's a pretty hard reach.
We sang Kumbaya.
It's a hard listen. It's a hard listen.
And then we got the one and only, the man with the greatest locks this side of the Mississippi. We got the one and only Dallas Clark from the Huddle Chat. Make some noise for the great Dallas Clark. Not the professional athlete.
Yeah, no. Not the Dallas Clark, just a Dallas Clark. So happy to be here, guys. How you all been, man? It's been so long since we've all been together, man.
We used to do this pretty
You're the Dallas Clark to me, Dallas.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Sam. That means a lot.
If we ever get the real Dallas Clark, that's it. That's the last time we're having you on.
God dang.
What a weekend. Football regular season football started. Finally, it's back and it's ready to go. So there was a lot of impressive things going on. What I want to hear from you guys really quick, starting with Rios, and then we'll work our way or literally around like that. I want to hear.
Yes,
exactly,
just
like that.
Just like God intended.
Exactly. All right. So what was give me one thing that you were surprised your team was able to do that you weren't expecting this Sunday?
Oh, this is going to be great. Thank you.
Starting up strong.
What surprised me, honestly, was us stopping Jonathan Taylor, because he's had a pretty good run of success against the Texans the last few seasons when he's been healthy. Like I think the graphic before the game started, like he averages almost 150 yards per game against Houston, but they were able to shut down the run. Outside of those 3 deep shots by Anthony Richardson, they did a pretty good job as well of, containing him and, keeping him a little bit inaccurate. And I was hoping for a blowout, but, a win's a win.
We take those.
100%. Agreed. I think they only held him out to 48 yards, right, on 16 attempts?
Yeah, they completely shut him down. He looked like Derrick Henry out there against the Texans last year.
Ouch. All right. Sam, your Titans, what is something that you were so very surprised to see that you weren't expecting at all?
I wasn't expecting the defense to look as good as they did. They went in there and there was not a single time that Caleb didn't have somebody in his face at his feet making him uncomfortable. It got to the point where they had 7 people on the line, and there would be receivers wide open, and he wouldn't hit them at all. Like, there were just so much pressure was getting to him. And shout out for Mr. Sweat, who we got in the second round, a.k.a. Meatloaf, as he likes to be called. Did a lot of damage in that interior line and got Big Jeff open. So that it was fun to see. I just hope it keeps going. We'll find out.
There you go. Poppy, what's something else that you saw from the Texans that you were actually kind of surprised to see?
I was surprised watching the game that no major injuries happened with how bad that turf was. You can see it from the beginning of the game that guys were slipping and missing tackles and stuff like that. But like Rio said, win is a win. I wasn't expecting it to be as competitive as it was. Not to talk down on
check that shit, Dallas.
But
check that shit when it's your turn.
But fuck the Colts. I've said it, and I will continue to say it.
Stir
to the end of time. But I was expecting a more comfortable win. Anthony Richardson made it a close one for sure, and that defense, that D-line, underrated, man, underrated. But win is a win. Well, we take those.
And Dallas, what is something that you were surprised about your Colts this weekend?
To be honest with you, I was surprised. I know that the game wasn't necessarily game script in our favor for most of it, but I was surprised at our lack of opportunity for Jonathan Taylor. He was running fairly efficiently, and the Colts throughout his career have had the most success when Jonathan Taylor gets close to or at least over 20 carries. And I feel like getting Jonathan Taylor involved opens up that play action. It opens up Anthony Richardson's running ability more, and it opens up those deep shots that we were able to get earlier in the game when we were running the ball a lot more. I think that we need to kind of stay. I mean, our motto is run the damn ball. So it was surprising that we didn't do just that.
Yeah, I'll agree with you. I thought Jonathan Taylor was going to get some more not more carries, but like actually kind of run through a little bit for the against the Texans, but that wasn't the case. The Texans did hold him down, like Rios just mentioned earlier, to a surprising amount of yardage. I mean, averaging only 3 yards per carry. That's insane throughout the game. So credit definitely to the Texans run defense. I was surprised, I'd like to say, how well the Texans run offense was. In particular, Kenyon Green, one of the players for the Texans that has been, up and down, more down than up, really.
Yeah, this was
now
the
it's
like
not a whole lot of up,
not a whole lot of up, but this past weekend he was dominating dudes, man. It was good, a great sight to see. Being able to open up the gap. Like that was fun to. Are you all right, Bobby? Whatever.
Can you mean Green?
Kenyon Green, yeah, Kenyon Green. Like,
I mean,
kudos to that guy.
He was impressive.
He was very impressive. So, could this be to reference one of our friends from a Houston podcast shows? AD, is this the Kenyon Green revenge tour? Like this could happen. I was very surprised at that. How well he played. Honestly, awesome. That works for the Texans.
It just needs to be consistent, man. It's like you said, keeping. Like the way, like Joe Mixon ended up with like what, like 149 yards?
149, I think, yeah.
153, 153, something like
and
that.
I thought it was ridiculous. In preseason, all we saw was Cam Akers, obviously, and I'm surprised that he didn't make an appearance. I'm surprised that even Pierce.
Yeah, he was not active that day, I think.
Yeah, he was scratched from because you can only suit up 46, and they didn't need 4 running backs. Oh,
sorry. The correction was 30 attempts, 159 yards. I was averaging 5.3 yards per carry.
Which is pretty.
That's where you got that 153 was that 5.3 yards per carry.
Yeah. So yeah, man.
I've been saying all offseason, he's a great fit for this run scheme. Yeah. It suits him. He's a one-cut runner.
I don't think I can go much farther in this episode without addressing Rios' lack of beard. I am just not a huge
fan. Honestly,
this is weird. I don't understand.
It's very weird.
Rios, please tell the story because listen. What happened? When he told us, he put it on the group chat. I almost blocked him.
Where is Chris Hansen?
So I was trimming my mustache, and I take the guard off the clippers, and I sneeze, and I went right down the middle.
Oh man!
And I try to salvage it. I can't do the handlebar mustache. So I was like,
the reverse Hitler.
Oh my god!
I can't do this. I'm starting over.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, you could have just taken the mustache. You didn't have to lose the beard.
I look like a 70s porn star with just the mustache.
You look like you own a lot of khaki-colored Dickie shorts. That's what
Yeah, I don't know,
bro.
man.
I told you this when I saw the picture. You look like a sex offender and a victim at the same time.
You look like Josh
Thank you very much for watching it.
Oh, we are so canceled.
I'm so glad, Dallas. I'm so glad you brought this up because, like, honestly,
and mid-show too. Mid-show,
I just couldn't stop. He's right in the middle of the screen. So, like every time I looked up, like he's the biggest head too, and all of us, like he's the closest to the camera. So it's just hard not to notice it, man.
That's true. You're right, Brandon.
It's okay. We finished it.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, that's much better.
He went to go put mascara on the whiskers.
Can we somehow get Dallas like underwater so the hair's like
Yeah, but talking about the slipping that was going on in that Texans game, man, it was all over the NFL. When you look at like that game in Brazil, there was a lot of because it was a soccer field and not a football field.
So
Yeah, like everybody's saying that the Lions, like they had like I think 3 different players slip on their final drive of the game on Sunday Night Football. Like there was slipping problems and footing problems all over the NFL, which is. Like is there a new style of turf that they're using or something? I've been trying to find out what was causing it, or is it just week 1?
Well, because they're using a lot of the turf that like they use in soccer fields, and those are designed to prevent like the ligament injuries. And you still get soft tissue injuries, but like the ligament injuries, it's designed to reduce that. But as you saw,
but with all that slipping or whatever, it made that Anthony Richardson throw much more
Dude,
impressive.
that's the throw of the year, man.
He was flipping and still got it.
Like he still got it, and like so accurate as well. Like he threw the ball like on the receiver's stride. He didn't even have to reach for it. Like it was already there. And
go ahead.
No. Like when I saw it live, I was like, that did not just happen. Not Anthony Richardson.
No fucking way.
That's not the Anthony Richardson that I know.
See, that's what Colts fans have been waiting for, man. We got a small sample size of it last year, man. I know the man has some arm strength. The great news for Colts fans is that the accuracy is a problem for sure, but accuracy is one of the easiest things to work on. You can't teach arm strength, you can't teach the athletic ability. But I definitely think that the couple of big throws that we saw from Anthony Richardson, that's what Colts fans have been waiting for, man.
And that's the reason why that game got so competitive, because you guys couldn't run the ball effectively, but you still had those like offense on the deep pass, especially because our secondary kept getting burned.
Jimmy Ward,
that was a safety issue.
It was ridiculous, man. Well, Stingley got burned in that first one as well.
Well, Stingley got beat, but like he thankfully Anthony Richardson overthrew him because A.D. Mitchell would have had the game of his life if those passes were a little bit more accurate. 2 walking touchdowns basically.
Yeah.
I also noticed that like on that first drive, Anthony Richardson was peppering Michael Pittman Jr. It was like he was trying to force feed Michael Pittman Jr. for those first 2 drives or so, and then you didn't really see Michael Pittman Jr. much throughout. I was wondering if it was a game plan adjustment from the Texans, whether they were trying to force other targets open, or we just completely took Michael Pittman out of the game plan after the first 7 plays on offense.
From what I saw, I think it was a little bit of both. I think because they had Stingley follow him a little bit more. He's their best cover corner, but I didn't really see a whole bunch of targets his way either. Like they kind of went away from him. Like they're throwing them more towards Pierce and towards Mitchell.
Yeah.
Alec Pierce is such a wild player, man. He catches like 15 catches a year and like 600 yards for 10 touchdowns.
Wild, man.
So now what I want to move on to is what was an area of concern.
Well, should we talk about the Titans game at all? Like we feel like we barely mentioned it.
Oh, you're fine. Keep going.
Oh no,
man, the Titans game. I'm not gonna lie to you. That Will Levis interception off the knees. That gave me, like, as a Colts fan, the Carson Wentz flashbacks. You know what I mean?
So they had a good first half. Like they did. They had a legit good first half.
I was actually impressed.
Yeah, me too. They had a nice 8-minute drive, but you made 2 terrible mistakes to let him back in. Now, the difference is where Vrabel would say the same thing every time we lost. Callahan is not that type of person. Callahan literally said we could have punted on first down and we would have won that game.
Yeah.
Like he straight up threw everybody under the bus on offense, which I liked, by the way.
Yeah, you need a little bit of accountability.
Right, yeah. So I have a feeling that Mr. Levis probably won't be doing that again.
Yeah.
He had done it earlier in the game. See, this is what the problem is. He did it earlier in the game and it hit somebody's foot and whatever. And it's like, cool, I'll do it again. But just take the sack, man. Caleb Williams isn't doing anything. You know, we got
held him down to like what, 99 yards or something like that?
93 yards passing from Caleb Williams.
It was
awful.
So let's
terrible.
talk about that. Were the lights too bright, you think, or because on paper this Bears offense?
To be honest with you, the Titans' defense was surprisingly good. They got a lot of pressure up front. I believe if it wasn't for the pick 6 and the blocked punt for a touchdown, that would have been probably one of the most low scoring. Those 2 defensive scores and special team scores really changed that entire game, and it kind of felt like one of those that like Titans fans probably saw it, like they felt it coming as it was coming. We've all been there where you guys come out to a nice hot lead and then you get that blocked punt and you're like, all right, everything is cool, and then that crazy interception, and it just kept going downhill from the beginning. They just the Bears never really did anything. The Titans completely gave them that game.
So do you think that's the game plan moving forward, going against the Bears, just like pass rush?
I would be. I mean, it got to the point where they only had 2 safeties back. Like they had no respect for Caleb Williams whatsoever. None.
You kind of saw in preseason, like he made a couple highlight plays in preseason, but for the most part, like Bill Belichick said, he was super inaccurate. Like it wasn't. You would have accuracy from him. You'd be the #1 overall pick. And
he overshot almost every single person.
Almost every single pass. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, based on week 1, I'm not finding much visual difference between Bo Nix from the Broncos and Caleb Williams. No. They're check down kings. Yeah. They're not going to test your defense deep. All of the spectacular plays Caleb Williams made were scrambling into Kyler Murray style plays, scrambling in the pocket, that cute little shovel pass that he made. But ultimately, we haven't really seen anything that makes you think this Bears offense is going to be as powerful as it's been expecting. It's giving me flavors of that Browns team when they first got Baker Mayfield and Jarvis and Odell. I've said it a couple times this offseason. I think the Bears are going to be a little disappointing with how good they're supposed to be.
I think they try to get him. They try to hype him up like he was going to be the he's going to be
lots
the
of national media.
That's the Bears for you.
Yeah. I think honestly it's all CJ Stroud's fault. Everybody's expecting all of these quarterbacks to come in here and think that they're going to be CJ Stroud. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. It was the best rookie season of all time, and for it to be that close, it's the same effect that like Saquon Barkley and Ezekiel Elliott had on the running backs in fantasy football and stuff the following years. You're just looking at these quarterbacks. Yes, they can be good and they might have long careers, but they're not going to come close to what CJ Stroud put up last year.
Right.
It used to be.
He doesn't even have to though. Like, but I know it's only week 1, but they had nothing going for them.
Absolutely
nothing at all.
Nothing was happening.
You would think they would lean on the running game because you got a stable of running backs. Make it a little bit easier in your rookie quarterback, especially against that kind of relentless pass.
So their problem is, and I don't know why teams do this, but the Rams tried to do this a couple of years ago too. They run them at Big Jeff. Like if all the people you're going to run at don't run at the best defensive lineman, well, one of the best defensive linemen in the league, and definitely the best defender on the team, and you run right up that middle. And now that Sweat's here, he's eating space, and Jeffrey is getting through there. And that's that. I mean, Swift had a horrible time. They were just tackling for loss, constant.
He's a good outside runner. Like just try to do some more outside runs.
I agree, and they started to do that a little bit, but then they went away from it. I don't know if we changed or what, but I don't know. So we're on to the Jets. We're on the New York.
Caleb's in for a bad time this weekend.
So let's talk about an area of concern for each team, though. So we talked about something that you're surprised. So I want to go around and ask, okay, what is something that you saw that you noticed about your team that was an area of concern? And this time I'm going to start with Dallas. And then we'll go back. All right, Dallas.
We're so far away, Poppy. We're so far away.
Area of concern for me as a Colts fan is the area of concern that we kind of had going into the offseason is our secondary, man. If we get into games like against the Texans where they have so many good receiving weapons, especially now that Juju Brents, our number 2 cornerback, is out for the season. We got Kenny Moore, and then Dallas Flowers has made tons of mistakes. We have a really young cornerback room, and there are still some decent options out there. We could go get Stephon Gilmore back if we needed to, but it's Chris Ballard is pretty steady with trust in the process right now. But that secondary is going to be an area of concern because when it comes to defending the pass, that's going to be the biggest problem for the Colts. And this is a passing league. So no matter who you're playing, when they're top competition, when you play the Dolphins, when you play the Chiefs, when you play the Texans, when we talk about those tough AFC South teams, those tough AFC teams, those are all pass heavy teams. And the Indianapolis Colts, unless we jump out to a crazy early lead or they make a lot of mistakes like the Texans did and let us mess around and stay in the game, the Colts are in trouble when it comes to a good passing offense.
All right, Poppy, what's your area of concern that you noticed for the Texans?
Same like Dallas just said, man. The secondary, like we knew going in that it was going to be a
counterclockwise,
a place of concern, but
trickery.
Going into the game, I knew, I thought, the Colts, they obviously the run game is something that they're masters of, and that's an area that I thought we were going to struggle with. It was completely the opposite. Like we stuffed the run, but we were getting beat on the deep ball a lot. And that's just Anthony Richardson, which we know he's talented. We know the athleticism is there and all that. But when he's giving you dots, over the top, and there's no answer for it, imagine what a Mahomes is going to do, what a Lamar is going to do, what a Joe Burrow, stuff like that. Even maybe Will Levis will get it together and throw some deep passes, because that's the way. If there's a way to beat the Texans after week 1, that's the way. The Colts showed it. Any Texans any other year would have lost that game. We kept it. We kept the lead because the offense is so good right now. Joe Mixon played out of his mind. CJ wasn't his best game, but it was a solid outing. Tangdale, Diggs, Nico, catching that ball in triple coverage, whatever the hell it was. But it's the secondary for me, man. Like, if you're gonna beat this Texans team, that's how you're gonna do it.
All right, that works. Sam, what is an area of concern that you saw for your Titans?
So Rios and I had talked about this on Twitter a couple of times. They've changed everything, right? And they went from a very basic offense to a more complicated offense. It's a passing offense. Okay, they had to run. Wow, they had to run in Chicago because the wind was so bad. The Windy City, imagine that. But it worked with Pollard somewhat. But I guess my main thing is I need the Ridley and Levis connection to work. It has to. And they missed a couple there that were gimmies against a tough defense. So I think that's my concern. I mean, my whole concern is the offense, don't get me wrong, but I feel like a lot of their problems is it's all brand new. That's what I think most of their problem is, if that makes any sense. And my quarterback hasn't even played 16 games yet,
Yeah, that makes sense. Rios, what's an area of concern that you saw for the Texans?
Yeah, just to pick out back what Eduardo said, the secondary, mainly the safeties. Petrie had a pretty good game. I think they put him, like we mentioned before, the same spot he played at Baylor, closer to the line of scrimmage, which suits his skill set. But Jimmy Ward, man, that boy is getting torched left and right. It was very concerning, and I kind of wish they would have signed Simmons in the offseason because, man.
It would have been the difference maker there.
Definitely, because with Ward, he's lost a step. Like, it's pretty evident. Like, he was getting torched.
Couple steps.
Like, he was getting torched by everybody. Like, it wasn't even close. And because if you look at the plays, like some people will say, "Oh, I was on Sting." Like, no, Stingley's job was playing more into the zone and having safety help, and coming to help if it comes, of course, that receiver. But if Ward's getting burned like that, like, doesn't matter how much safety help you have. It's gonna be something that needs to address as far as like changing it up a little bit, having maybe Jimmy Ward playing a little bit closer to the line of scrimmage, because man, he cannot defend those deep balls at all.
Yeah, I agree. I think area of concern was definitely the secondary for the Texans. Jimmy Ward was getting torched, definitely. So I would like to see a little bit more. If that's the case, if there's not going to be much change, I would like to see more of Caden Bullock in that position. Like you saw, he caught an interception off of Anthony Richardson. So and at the red zone, exactly. So honestly, I do want to see more of Caden Bullock. I want to see what he's got going on. I mean, you've heard all off season a lot of good things about Caden Bullock, so I kind of want to see it play out on the field. Now, given, of course, this was week 1, let's keep seeing what keep going forward, and then we'll see what happens in that case. But I think I would like to see at this point more of what do you call it, Caden Bullock than Jimmy Ward. Okay, so with that being said, I now want to talk about standout players.
Before you do that, I want to make sure to let everybody know. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to all of us. I think we're on Just Fans Podcast, also out on the Huddle Chat Sports Network live right now. So thank you everybody for tuning in. Drop in the comments what you guys' biggest surprises were from this season as well. Let's get that chat going. I see we got a lot of comments from everybody. Thank y'all for the love. Like you said, Carlos, we're going with those standout players. What are you saying there, man?
Yes, sir, exactly. Standout players, people that you thought just stood out for your team and just balled out. Very noticeable. Basically, the shout-outs. If you think it was standout, shout-outs. There you go. Starting with Rios.
Oh, he switched it again, Poppy.
He's keeping them on their toes.
Now you don't.
This man teaches the youth. He teaches the youth.
So I was gonna say that you could be mixing, but I gotta go with Nico Collins, the owner of Lucas Oil Stadium right now. He made
Say it again. Say it again. They didn't hear you. They didn't hear you back there. Say it again.
owner of Lucas Oil Stadium. I mean, he made some amazing catches, and he sealed the game for us.
Get him, Dallas. Don't take that shit. Don't take that shit. Get it.
But I've been saying all offseason, I think Nico's going to be the big play guy, and we saw that. It was pretty evident. Like, the deep shots, they were all to Nico Collins, and he's very reliable when it comes to that aspect. And, hey.
Bullock's a great last name for a player, by the way. Not just saying.
Yeah, agreed. All right. How do you call it? Sam, go for it. Whatever that is.
Meatloaf, Tavondre Sweat. He was everything I needed him to be in the first game. I mean, there was one time they had 3 blockers on the guy. I mean, he was just shoving. He grabbed Swift twice in the backfield and brought him down. It's great. I think it's fantastic. People wanted to call him, I think, Brian Baldinger when he studies the line video, which I enjoy. But he said he wanted to call him T-Pain. He said today in the interview, he goes, "That's not my nickname."
You know who T-Pain is?
What?
You know who T-Pain is?
I know who T-Pain is. Relax.
Oh no, we've had conversations about rappers, and you're like,
no. Look, I'm not super, but I know who T-Pain is. All right. By the way, he can sing without autotune. He is terrific.
I was blown away when he sang it.
Yeah, me too.
That man right there, that young man right there can sing.
Yeah, you see that young man on stage, honey? Anyway, so Tavondre Sweat is mine, the 360-pound man. He doesn't want to go by T-Pain. He says, my nickname is Meatloaf, and that's it. And he got really defensive about it. And I was like, all right, bro, your name's Meatloaf. Cool.
Stood on business.
Yeah, he stands on. My job is to make Jeffrey get through the line. That's my job. So
that's fair.
All right. Poppy, standout player for you.
They don't get a lot of love, man, but our kicker, Kaimi Fairbairn, without him,
bless you.
We do not win that game. Without him, we do not win that game. That Colts D-line was keeping us from moving the ball the way we wanted to, and without his, 250-plus field goals? Three of them?
Three.
Like, without that, we do not win that game. And I thought he was like the unsung hero of that game for the Texans.
That's a good one. I like that one.
That's a good one.
Kickers hardly ever get the love.
Give him kickers some love, dude.
Yeah, I love it. I'm in it. I'm all about this life.
I'll take it. All right, Dallas Clark, your standout player of the game.
I mean, the easy route would be to say Anthony Richardson because we were all looking forward to the C.J. Stroud-Anthony Richardson battle. But, I mean, completing 9 of 19 passes, I think Alec Pierce had to have been our standout player. In a game where we're missing Josh Downs, Adonai Mitchell wasn't really able to get things going. Michael Pittman effectively got removed from the game plan. We needed somebody to step up, and Alec Pierce, White Lightning, came down there, and he was available, and he did not just the one big catch either. He had a couple of really big catches that really kept us in the game, flipped the field completely around. So I think without Alec Pierce in that game this Sunday, I think we definitely would have lost by a lot more than 2 points.
Awesome, I'll take that. Another dark horse that doesn't get picked out much for the Texans. I want to say this particular game against Indy, though statistically, like, it doesn't show much because it looked like he only had like 7 tackles. Henry To'oTo'o, linebacker. He had some pretty decent stops against Indy. Some crucial ones too. So, and that was a position that of concern to me as well. The linebacking core, but honestly, he looked pretty decent against Indy. Again, low tackling, yes, but they were effective tackles. So I'll take the Henry To'oTo'o one.
Making the stop when they count.
Yeah, they made a stop when they count, exactly. Mm-hmm. Some comments right here. Joey Garcia said, "Shout out to the entire Dallas defense."
Man, Dallas, you have a defense was unreal. That's awesome, this Sunday.
Bro. Fuck that.
Poppy is about to be triggered.
We're on year 30 of it's our year, boys. It's our year.
Yeah, definitely was not Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, it was.
The year to lose the first round of the playoffs. Is that what we're talking about? Or
and then Joey also put Fred Warner was doing some damage against Jets. That's right.
Oh, no, man, they couldn't get nothing going. Those Jets.
No.
I'll
Red
say
Warrior.
this. 'Cause
Darn.
I need to go get my food real quick. I'll say this. Fuck the Saints. They had an incredible game, and they demolished the Panthers. And every time the Saints win, America loses. So I just want to make sure that we know. I just wanted to make sure that we know. Fuck the Saints.
Poppy,
that was a pretty great, segue, because I wanted to mention the fact that you guys did not take Bryce Young last year, because Bryce Young might just mess around and be the worst number 1 draft pick bust we've seen in at least a very long time, especially when you consider how much the Panthers gave up for him and just how bad he looks, man. Just
Panthers tickets are $1.80.
Dude, I didn't think, honestly, be honest with you, I felt a little more like I was a little bit more optimistic for Bryce Young this season, just because he had
scenery and everything.
Well, Dave Canales, Dave Canales has been he's been known as like a quarterback whisperer at some points.
You got the Canales effect, the improved offensive weapons.
Correct. So that's what's throwing me off a little bit. Maybe I don't know. I don't want to say first game back jitters or whatever, because this is the NFL. I mean, you're not. That doesn't really.
I think when I think Canales, though, I was excited about watching Canales because Baker Mayfield. Now the interceptions were up, but so were touchdowns, right? Because I thought Bryce Young was going to start flinging it over the field, and I'm like, that should boost his confidence way up. I didn't think they were going to be epic. True. I didn't think they were going to be. What does it say? It's cheaper to fly to Carolina. Woo! Goodness gracious!
I'm not going to lie to you. If the Colts played the Carolina Panthers this year, I'd consider it. It's $200+ to go to a Broncos game. Like, who do the Broncos think they are?
We can afford an extra night in the hotel room.
Yeah. I was looking for tickets for a Sunday night game. Ones are like almost $300.
We could probably get VIP tickets in Carolina.
Do your whole fantasy draft.
Yeah. On the bench next to Bryce Young.
At what point, do you guys think at some point, like, the NFL is going to come on Tepper, right? They're going to be like, shit needs to start changing.
The thing is, like, what can they do? Like, you would think Bryce Young would have. I know it's a lot to put on a quarterback, but it's like it's the whole team that's not performing, dude.
It's bad. It's like some of those size concerns are starting to come into play. Like, he's looking like a little kid out there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I mean, he's not the only short quarterback in the league, but he's just in the worst team, in the worst situation. Like, do you think
he's short, but not just that, but it's like he's not like Kyler's short, but Kyler's athletic. Kyler is, pretty muscular. Bryce isn't. Like, looks like a teenager right there.
You know that debate that people were talking about last year, and yes, this is true. If the roles were switched around, if the Texans had the first pick and they were to pick Bryce and CJ were to gone to Carolina, would there still be the same amount of problems for CJ than there was for Bryce in Carolina?
No. I mean, it would be it's hard to prettier than what it is.
It's hard to say. It's hard to say. I feel like obviously CJ wouldn't be as successful in Carolina, and I don't think Bryce has struggled as much as he has if he was in the Texans. Because remember, when CJ walked into the team, it wasn't like, oh, this is a stacked team.
Mm-hmm.
CJ like elevated, and D'Amico elevated a lot of these players. Like Nico Collins looks like one of the best wide receivers in the league right now.
Yeah,
he got paid like one. Does that happen if Bryce is throwing the ball? I don't know.
I think if roles were reversed, you'd be looking at both quarterbacks being fairly comparable to Blake Bortles with the Jaguars. Good enough to put you in the conversation, but not good enough to make you comfortable that this is the quarterback of the future. I think CJ would play much better than Bryce, but the Panthers would still be a 7-win team at best.
If that.
Speaking of Blake Bortles, he's better than Trevor Lawrence.
When we talk about that Jacksonville game, did anybody watch it? First of all,
I saw the quicken highlights kind of thing.
I watched the highlights.
They don't trust Trevor Lawrence. He threw the ball 7 times in the second half.
He had a really great throw for a touchdown, but I mean, it was
that's about it, and that's what you get from Trevor. You get flashes. You get flashes. You get moments. Maybe a nice touchdown and a nice,
We're in year 4. He's supposed to be this generational quarterback, the best prospect since Andrew Luck.
Highest paid quarterback.
And what have we seen so far? Just flashes once or twice a game.
Here's what I know. If your head coach fires the entire defensive staff, you're probably not going to have a good year.
Yeah.
Like, it reeks of desperation. I don't think Doug is much longer for that job if they keep losing.
Okay,
I
don't think so either.
Force
In the
themselves
second
to trust
half,
Trevor
and
Lawrence with how many
every
problems that
chance-
have gone on since he's
Yeah.
come in the league.
Yeah, I agree.
Did you just drop your fries, puppy?
No.
No,
No.
How about you
Handing
mind
the
your
cookies.
I
business?
have nothing to hide. I've been drinking the whole time.
I like how he's like, I like how he asked me to mind my business. How I mind my business. So
I,
like,
What
I,
about
Rock,
I
mind
can't
your
lie to you. I
business?
feel like Sam's going to say that exact same sentence 18 weeks from now when we enter him into AA after this Titans season.
Hey, we are the drunkest fan base if you saw that chart. So
Is it?
I'm not
sure-
going to argue with the prices at Panthers games. I think they might have you guys beat because, I mean, if I'm paying $1.50 to get into a game, you better believe I'm spending $100 on beer.
As God
It's like,
intended.
yeah, the vendors are happy
The
for the
thing-
100 people there drinking.
Tennessee fans drink before and after the game as well. They just hate their lives in general.
Tennessee fans leave the game and go back to the tailgate. Like, I was having much more fun out here at the barbecue.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you over all the bullshit in your mouth. Anyway, so Levis might be drunk too. He definitely felt that way in the second half. Maybe that's what he drank in the locker
I
room.
will say thank you, Will Levis, for giving me a meme I can use for the rest of the year. Him on his
But
knees.
you know what? Oh yeah, the surrender cobra. Yeah.
oh, that was I saw that.
So
Lord,
So here's the thing about that. I'll say about Will Levis. If he's not the guy, at least I'm not paying him like Daniel Jones.
That's true.
oh, bro, what has happened to the
The other
Daniel
teams, once they
Jones?
feel bad for you, bro, like you got to reevaluate your entire life at that point.
He
So
has
as
more
of-
pick
as of
sixes
right
than
now.
touchdowns.
Yeah.
More pick sixes than touchdowns.
Since signing, right?
Since
Yeah,
then,
Yeah,
How
since
much
signing.
of this is his fault though? Because the Giants, they're not doing anything to help the guy.
I don't know.
Couldn't get it done. They drafted Malik Neighbors. Might be better than Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah.
There are people on the Let's Talk Sports show that really believe in Brian Daboll still, and I don't see it.
Yeah.
I don't see it. He is
Daniel
not.
Jones isn't Josh Allen. I think
Right.
Josh Allen made Brian Dable versus the other way around.
Yeah, I think you're right. Kind of like the Freddie Kitchens effect, you know. I bought tickets. I bought tickets to watch.
How
Daniel-
nobody reacted to that one. Like
Yeah, I just
everybody
did
was
that.
like,
And it was worth it.
Golly,
It's like buying
But-
tickets to the Harlem Globetrotters. You're at least going to
he's
get
probably
it.
first coach
Yeah.
fired, right? You guys think that?
say it
You
again?
think Dable? You think he's first coach fired?
I can see that.
Oh yeah.
And or
Is-
Canales. I think they're going to make
Yeah.
Like you
Canales-
mentioned,
you think Canales after the year? After this year? You think Canales after this year? Like they won't give him another year?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Really? Okay.
'Cause
All right. As of right now, who's got the first draft?
Stop glazing my boy. Stop glazing him.
I can't help it. He's beautiful.
It's hard not
After
to.
week 1, who's got the first draft pick next season?
Oh, geez.
Giants.
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 All right, let's go. How about let's round table it?
Yeah.
Okay. Whoa.
Yeah.
When do we start?
No,
you want to
I'm
go
gonna
counterclockwise
How
or
about we
clockwise?
started?
Which one is
How
it?
about,
everybody.
how about this time we started with Poppy and work our way
How
up
about
with
this
Stan
time? You
Reels
shut
and
your
then end it with
mouth.
Dallas. Yeah, Poppy.
Poppy, I don't
who's
wanna
got the
do it
first round
anymore.
next season
Too
so far
hard.
as of week
Yeah, I
1.
don't understand.
Dude, after week 1, honestly, like I
More
didn't think
liquor.
there was gonna be a worse team than Carolina this year, but the Titans aren't giving me much hope. I think they might end up with the worst record.
We're in one game.
Wow, you think they get a first draft pick next season, the Titans?
I mean,
I think that's crock of poop. There's no way I'm worse than
I
the
wouldn't go number one. On,
I wouldn't go
Top
number
five.
1 either, honestly. I'm just
Top
saying.
five. I'll say
Yeah.
top 5.
You can put. I'm fine with being top 5. That's fine. But like,
I'm just
I'm not number 1.
It's
That
Giants, bro.
belongs to
It's Giants. It's Giants.
Giants. Yeah.
Okay.
It's Giants.
Sam, who do you got so far
Which
right now?
one's
for-
yeah.
I'm with Poppy. I hate myself for it, and I'm going to need a shower afterwards. But I'm with Poppy. I think the Giants are going to have the number 1 draft pick. They are abysmal. It's one of the worst things I've ever seen. Like in all of my years watching football, they were one of the worst teams I've ever seen.
All right.
Well, the Saints winning might be the worst thing I've ever seen.
Oh, for heaven's sakes, Poppy! Poppy, what? Okay, everybody.
no.
What
The
happened,
Saints
Poppy?
beat us in a
What
Super Bowl,
happened?
and I don't hate them as much as
Was it a
Poppy.
truck
I know,
stop,
right?
Poppy?
The Saints
Was it
beat
a
this
truck
man's
stop?
team in a Super Bowl right here, and he doesn't have as much hatred as you do. Even though
I agree. Fuck the Saints and everything they stand for, but I don't
My
hate
boy
them as much
Dallas.
as Poppy does.
That's
Drew
my
Brees is
boy
like, hey
Dallas.
guys, and Dallas is just like, bam.
Man, that question, who wins in Giants versus Panthers? I think America, for the fact that it's at like 7:00 in the morning and it's not like during regularly scheduled program.
Well,
We can
that's
sleep
true.
through it and wake up.
Is that really happening this year?
Yeah,
in
Munich.
Germany.
Playing in
Oh,
Germany.
The highlights video on YouTube is gonna be like 2 minutes long.
Yeah.
It's just a bunch of fumbles.
It's interceptions. Rios, what about you, dude? Who's your as of week 1? Who's your number 1 draft pick for next season? Who's getting that?
Man, it's a toss up. I want to say Giants, but no, I'm gonna go with the Panthers because the Saints are terrible, and you let them
You just
dog
want to
walk
be
you.
different. You just want to be different all the time. God.
I mean, there was nothing exciting at all about the Panthers. There was nothing that gives me any semblance. They might go.
Poppy, is there animosity between you and Rios? Just
17.
not. Just not if it's true. Just not.
They might go 0-17.
Does he hit you when we're off air? Does he hit you? Do you need to order a pizza?
He said he has Whataburger on him right now. I want some. So for you, it's the Panthers. 0-17, you say?
Oh, jeez.
It could happen. If that happens, just relegate them to the XFL and let's just bring UFL, whatever you want to call it, and let's just get like a high school team to replace them.
Guess what, Germany? We're giving you these 2 NFL franchises.
Enjoy.
Germany has 2
Either
NFL
side of the
franchises
Rhine, just right
coming
there.
to them.
Germany is going to look at that game and be like, "Yeah, we picked the right football."
Yeah, we're out. We're out.
Yeah.
Hey, Wunderbar, could you bring us, better games? What?
Hey, we don't speak Nazi here, all right?
Whoa.
Ooh, man, we didn't do anything to deserve this.
So,
We have
moving on.
Moving
on. We got all right. I'm gonna say Giants as well. I don't see anything right now that makes me think otherwise right now. I Panthers probably be my number 2. They're probably gonna fight it out. You know what? And this is a wild thought out there, but at this point, the way things are going with Cleveland and Deshaun Watson's performance, there's a possibility they could be down there too.
Yeah.
Deshaun Watson's abysmal performance, man.
Do we have
I think Stefanski's smart though. I think Stefanski's going to
I think so too. At that point, the coaching. But I mean, if Joe Flacco was able to get him out of a rut last season by sitting the couch, like you said, Stefanski's pretty smart. But like I said, after seeing Deshaun Watson's abysmal performance, I don't.
Well, what I mean by that
really
is, I think he'll be like, you know what, you're out. Like I can't do this.
Do you think the Browns let him go this season?
Well, I mean, first of all, they have that clause where they don't give him anything with one more naughty boy thing, and what I'm hearing is
how many games do they give him?
5.
I think 5. So.
I think 5.
His money's guaranteed. You can't pinch him. You can do.
Well, I'm sorry, I forgot about Jimmy Haslam. He'll probably be like, "No, it's fine. He's just a boy."
Is that what he sounds like? Oh.
Jimmy Haslam is a pain in the butt to most Tennessee, especially when it comes to Vols, because he sat on the sports council when it came to the Vols and tried to hire a head coach on the down low for the Vols. Yeah, and the fans pretty much had him booted out of the council. He's a billionaire, and they got him booted.
Wow.
So,
if by week 5 the Browns are 2-2, are they sticking with Deshaun for the rest of the season, or?
I don't think so.
Probably bench and see what goes on because I don't know this whole new lawsuit.
We're gonna win it. We're gonna eat us a W.
Right.
Jameis Winston time.
Yeah.
Hide your Uber drivers. Here comes Jameis.
I didn't get to ask Dallas. I'm sorry, Dallas. What is who's got the number 1 pick?
Join us, Dallas. Don't be like Rios.
Honestly, I think it's gonna be a tough race for the first pick between the Giants and the Panthers. I think the Broncos are gonna be up in there as well. I think the Broncos are pretty bad. I also live in Denver, so fuck the Broncos. Can't stand the Broncos fans. Probably one of the worst fans in the NFL. But I got to go with the Giants strictly because you got the Dallas Cowboys. Going to be competing with the Philadelphia Eagles for potentially the top seed in the NFC. And then the Commanders, I think that the Commanders aren't going to be much better than the Giants, but I don't think that the Giants are going to have an answer for the Commanders. Their division is going to be really good this year. I think that the Giants, just as a whole, there's not much to be excited about besides Malik Neighbors. I can't really tell you a decent player that I would even think about in fantasy football or even take into my Madden roster right now. So I got to go with the Giants as that number 1 pick.
All right.
They're all going to pick them in the top 5. Cleveland, Giants, Tennessee, Saints.
Commanders? Y'all put them? Commanders,
yeah. Dallas mentioned Commanders.
Yeah, you did. That's right. All right. Well, all right. I'm out of questions here. Anybody else want to throw something on the table before we exit out?
You guys want to talk about you guys' next week's game? What you guys predictions for next week?
Next week predictions.
All right, Dallas, you brought it up. So let's. Who do you want to pick? Who's starting first?
Honestly, first things first. Bring out my inner Poppy. Fuck the Packers. They always fuck me in fantasy football. Can't stand the waste management crew.
You're going to win that. Green Bay. Malik Willis, for God's sakes. You're going to win that game.
And they're starting Malik Willis. Hasn't thrown more than 100 yards in his NFL career. Hasn't had a receiver over more than 50 yards. I think the Colts are going to put a wallop on the Packers this week. I think that Anthony Richardson is going to hopefully really get the chance to shine against a softer Packers secondary. And I really hope we get JT over 100 this week.
Do we know how long Love is out?
4 to 6 weeks, right? Or is it
4 to 6?
4 weeks. They said 3 to 4 weeks, more likely 4 weeks.
I was gonna say, yeah, that sounds about right.
It's going to be interesting if he comes back and he looks like Joe Burrow did before they made him sit down. It's going to be really interesting.
Because we play them this. When do we play them?
Week 8.
Week 8, right?
I got him week 3.
Okay, got you.
Okay.
Yeah, Malik Willis, the type of quarterback that would go to spike the ball at the end and get an incomplete pass.
Jeez.
Damn.
Woo!
All right. Sam.
We play the Jets. I mean, I like what I saw Monday night.
Did you release your inner Mickey Mouse right now?
Aaron Rodgers looks
some anger sharks. They're making him do weird stuff, man.
Yeah, I know. I'm just gonna keep drinking. Okay. Anyway, so so we're gonna find out if the Titans defense, because everybody's singing their praises now, but Aaron Rodgers is not a first-year quarterback that has a lot on his shoulders. He is somebody that's done this a million times.
Quite the opposite.
Yeah, quite the opposite, and can make a pass when he absolutely needs to. So we're going to find out about this defense as the offense continues to come along. So I'm looking forward to seeing if that defense can continue to get pressure up the middle with Big Jeff and wow.
Oh my God.
Listen, I have had the horror and inconvenience of watching Malik Willis the last 3 years. Okay, yeah. It's horrible. It's not a fun experience. But we're gonna find out.
Brandon, please keep commenting. You're amazing.
Yeah, well done, sir. And hopefully the offense will continue to come along, but it's a long, long march. Anyway, so. That's what I'm hoping the defense kind of takes care of business against A.A. Ron and the boys.
All right. Rios, what's your take on this? What?
Seeing how bad Caleb against Tennessee, he's going to be in for a long night Sunday night.
Mm-hmm.
Because that Bears offensive line, because the Colts, they were double and triple teaming Will Anderson.
You're going to kill him.
Expected to have at least 2 or 3 sacks on Sunday night.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be a blow. It's not even gonna be close. It's gonna
I can see it. It's
gonna be like 42 to like 7.
All right, Poppy, what is your take on this one?
Same, man. It's the home opener. That place is gonna be rocking all day, and I feel like Caleb and the O-line, they're gonna crumble under pressure. Will Anderson is gonna eat through all 4 quarters. Honestly, I don't see how the Texans lose this game, especially after what we saw on week 1 with the Bears. And I just want to see more.
Don't say it.
And I just want to see more consistency. The CJ obviously is great. Stephon Diggs already getting his first touchdown. Nico looking just like he did last season, and Tank Dell slowly getting in there as well, there's just no way. And fucking Joe Mixon running for 150 yards. Like I don't see the Bears getting anything out of this game. So let's hope for another win. Stay undefeated.
Well, I want to say I don't think I think it was reported today that I think Roma Dunze has a MCL injury or something like that.
Yeah, Keenan Allen's hurt.
Yeah.
So that he threw the ball and it went off Dunze's leg and shot up straight up in the air. Like
I was gonna say, so if
that's some Madden ass shit though.
I know. It happened. I had to like rewind my television. I was like, what just happened? Because I just see this all at once.
Yeah. So I don't know if the only thing I don't know is it says the coach said that Dunze may play against Houston, but it's not sure. I don't know if the report had came out yet that if he is or he's
I don't think it makes a difference either way.
I don't think it is either. Caleb is not ready to come out of the oven.
Right, and the reason I was saying is because
there is a game to do it for Caleb, it would be this one.
Right, exactly. So that's why I was like,
he's slinging it left.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, if there was a game to do it, it would be this one because it's prime time, and it's like maybe it was either you show up or the lights are going to be way too bright, you know. And so I think if the receivers were, you weren't connecting with the receivers against Tennessee, and then
by the way,
and then then the Texans, what they were able to do to Jonathan Taylor. I mean, imagine what they're going to do against Colts. Yeah, against Swift. So at this point, it's like, okay, so the Texans have a pretty decent, run block defense, whatever. And so now you got
more from that,
right.
It was just one
and
game.
So, yeah, and I could see on this, the Texans' front seven getting to Caleb Williams, especially in a rookie. I don't even think, I think the Texans have a better front seven than the Titans do at this point. And so the fact that you were able to, get to Caleb Williams that much, I think that's going to be something that the Texans can look at film, and they're just going to unleash Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson there. I think one of y'all said they're going to feast or whatever. I could see that happening too. Also, I'm drawing a blank on the name really quick. 91, I think 97, the one that slammed Richardson down I think he's a nose tackle for the Texans.
Oh, wow.
I'm drawing a blank at the moment. I can't remember, but Edwards, I think, or something like that. No,
Mario Edwards.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, he had a
97.
Yeah, 97. Thank you, I appreciate that. So, yeah, I mean, that was he had an awesome play against Richardson. Of course, that's how players get CTE, but I mean, that's a pretty decent play against. Richardson. So I think the Texans had Richardson on the run. I think it's going to be the same thing for Caleb, except with Caleb, he's learning the league still. So I don't know how effective he's going to be against the Texans defense. If it's like Richardson, I don't know. Like Richardson, I feel like he did get 3 good shots against the Texans, and after that, it didn't really. It was kind of, it was nothing there. It was very anticlimactic. But besides those 3 big shots against the Texans,
Caleb will have 0.
Yeah, I don't see it happening either. So I got the Texans.
You never know, man. I didn't see AR, pulling that out of his ass, and he proved
on a slippery field.
On a slippery field, yeah. Throw the years.
I saw it coming. I don't know about y'all, but I knew he had it in.
Nobody.
I can see him throwing 3 deep ones against the Texans. Yeah.
Let's put it this way: in a game that the Bears are losing most of the game, they didn't take any deep shots. Yeah, they're not going to do it.
Caleb doesn't take deep shots.
Yeah, he doesn't.
I was going to say something, and I stopped myself. Thank you.
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you.
Yeah,
you're a good man.
What is it?
Rios hasn't destroyed you yet. You still got it,
Dude, I cannot read that fast. I'm foreign.
Sorry, there you go.
We're just gonna
Let me know when you're done. Let me know when you're done. Do I need to put the little ball on top of it like the music?
I want Poppy to put on like little.
You're gonna make me start over. You're gonna make me start over.
Yes, here, Brandon says.
Texans.
The Cliff Notes. Leave nail polish in the locker room.
Is that really how you read?
Yeah, motherfucker.
Oh my god.
Guys, we gotta take care of Poppy.
I wasn't here during the Bush administration, dude. They left me behind.
Wow.
All right, pretend to comment. All right. Hey guys, don't forget, go check out. All right, before we leave, Sam, go for it. Plug in Fanboys Unleashed. Let them know where they can find you.
Oh, me? Okay.
Only Sam here.
Yeah. Hey, I'm Sam. Hey. So I have the LTS show. That's Let's Talk Sports Show on Mondays and Thursdays at 8 p.m. Central. It's not all Titan stuff. We have a varied fan. We're gonna pick games tomorrow. Should be a good time. And then Friday I have wrestling. Friday and Tuesday is wrestling. We recap Raw on Tuesday, and we recap SmackDown at 9:15 Central. Makes me very tired, but I like doing it. And then Sunday we'll recap whatever this Titans game is going to be. Okay. I saw my name in the chat. And I'm like, dang. Anyway, but it's a super fun time. Love to have you in the chat, even if you're not a Titans fan. Come in there and talk crap to me. Why not? Poppy certainly loves to. Probably because he can't read stuff. Probably because he can't read. You know.
Are you calling me illiterate?
Yes.
That's what that means, sir.
I think that's what that means.
Can you spell illiterate?
Yeah, you seen Jose Endgame, Avengers Endgame? He's like, yes, that's exactly what that means.
Yeah.
Kicked him. Damn.
Hey, I'm back, baby. Oh, I'm in the middle. I did beat
over.
Nick Bodkins without CMC, who decided not to play. Boy, what a waste of a first-round fantasy draft pick.
I know, dude. I know everybody was like,
Fantasy owners were pissed.
Yeah.
And now they're like, he's doubtful. And I'm like, oh, my God.
Yeah.
Now.
I mean, it's Achilles tendonitis. That takes months to recover from.
I know. I'm just like, of course.
Yeah, let's let them know where they can find you, bro.
Oh, man, you guys already know you can find me over on the Huddle Chat Sports Network. Right now we're doing the Fantasy Football Huddle. We got the Fantasy Football Huddle podcast going on. The Fantasy Football the Fantasy Football Huddle Fantasy Football League as well.
Great show.
I got my startums and situms coming out tomorrow. We got waiver wire episodes every week. I got a live Sunday episode at 9:30 Mountain Standard Time, 11:30 Eastern Standard Time. Just a kickoff show, give you guys some last-minute advice on your lineups, some injury news, and hopefully we can win some money together on your favorite betting platform. But check me out over there on the Huddle Chat Sports Network, guys.
There we go. And of course, as CMC is system. Wow. All right, and of course,
congratulations to Dallas for getting engaged.
Oh yeah, congratulations, boy got engaged.
Oh, thank you guys so much, man. That's the love of my life.
Don't have twins.
No more football for you.
Oh man, that's why I had to get married before football season, or at least engaged before football season, so she knows what she's getting into.
Genius.
Smart man. Congratulations on your engagement, brother.
See you in a couple months, man.
I'm happy for you. Yeah, we saw the pictures. Great stuff, brother. Appreciate
Thank you, man.
All right, y'all. So that's gonna be it for us this week. Do us a favor if you're new and you're from Dallas's channel over here, follow us up. Subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Just Fans 22. Follow us on our IG at Just Fans Pod, which I need to update soon. Also, as you can see, this is a more relaxed environment, but if you want to see a little bit more professionalism from us, a little more, follow us at our Bring on the Blitz podcast show, which is NFL Texans related, of course, at B Blitz Pod. That's our YouTube channel. And of course, that's our Instagram account now. Follow us up on that. A little bit more professionalism, a little bit more stat-based, stat-driven. So that's going to be a lot of fun to watch us there too as well. And that's going to be it for us this week. Just again, subscribe to our channel, subscribe to Mr. First Down, follow his show, and of course follow the one and only Dallas Clark. Even if you don't like him, you can't hate on the
How
lock.
can you not like him?
That's what I'm saying. Even if you didn't, but you can't hate on those locks.
I'll fight.
Sounds like Paulus is a problem. No,
I'll fight somebody.
So even if you don't like him, I guess you like his hair.
Yeah, you can hate him as a human. You know, everything he stands
for.
Yeah,
exactly.
But nice hair. Nice hair.
You can't.
Like Sam. There's nothing to like about Sam.
And he has no hair, so.
I just keep coming on here. I don't know why.
You're a glutton for punishment, sir.
Yeah. Sam, we'll see you at 8. No, I'm not going to be on. I said we'll see you
at 8.
At 8. Yes,
All right, guys, that's going to be it. Appreciate y'all. Who's a Titans fan in here? Scott Cobb.
Scotty.
You're familiar with him, right, Sam, from the LTS?
Scott Cope, yeah, he's some, I think, Atlanta Falcons fan now. So, you know.
What a weird team to bandwagon, but all right.
He renounced his Patriots, jokingly, of course.
Okay.
Jokingly, yeah.
But he's a joke. You're right.
Okay, all right. Anyway,
see you guys next week.
Yes,
I'll be waiting for that first L, Poppy. It's coming in your inbox, baby.
All right, guys, thank you for checking us out. We'll be back next week with another AFC show, NFC South Showdown for week 2, and of course, we will have our standout versus shoutout and shout out players also. Basically, what you saw. Appreciate y'all for joining us. See y'all next time. Peace.
Southwest A-League, Texas, throw down here and it's so infectious. We ride for the Houston Astros, Rockets, Dynamo, and them Texans. If you ain't never been down here, but rule number 1, you gon' respect us. Just fans in my speakers, new one drop, they bout to bless us. I might right through the SWAT, playing just fans right through your spot. Look, and I don't know